Welcome to Real Talk Wrestling. I'm your host, Josh. With me, Chris Coffer, the ultimate babyface. What happened to your name, Chris? Your change? Are you turning heel?
Maybe. I mean, you never know. I don't know. I
Are
didn't see
you?
you with one, so I figured I'd just go back to just Chris for this week. I'm in,
Oh
I'm in the
man.
middle.
So like I'm like the MJF of the group of the show. I'm the heel. A lot of people don't like me, and you're the Adam Cole. Everyone loved you, babyface. I'm turning you over to the other side. That's what I feel like, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
But to know that, because obviously on Twitter you would know that. You can follow us, Josh Kimmel OUS. Yes, I am back on Twitter. Threads is a disaster.
Yeah. What
There's no
happened over there?
hashtagging. There's no DMs. There's no anything. It's just a bunch of everything, whether you like it or not. It's like, hey, Republican stuff. Hey, Democrat stuff. Hey, we can buff headlights over here. It's just literally hey, slam dunk contest. Hey, we're having a home run stuff I don't see on Twitter. So
Yeah. It's
my
not really
Twitter's
personalized, is it?
no, it's just everything everywhere all at once. Oh, craft beer, like anything you looked at Instagram, went over to Threads, and mostly my Instagram is for beer or whatever, and that's what I'm seeing. I don't want to see it.
Yep.
But RTW Chris on Twitter as well. We had a great show of Dynamite. I think Dynamite was good. Did you think that was a good show?
Yeah, it was better than most have been lately. It was enjoyable from beginning to end.
I'm still kind of lost with the tag team tournament, blind tag team. I know they're in the finals now, they're in the finals now. I don't know how they got there. I don't know the teams that were in there. It just seemed like we had 3 or 4 matches and now we're in the finals. And I'm thinking, what happened to the tournament? I don't understand where these were. Did this happen on Collision or Rampage? Had to have.
I think some of it happened there. I think we didn't really get as many of the graphics as we normally do whenever they do these tournaments. Like I feel like there's usually a lot of them, unless we both missed them, or maybe I just missed them. I don't know, but I don't remember seeing a whole lot of graphics for this up on the screen. Oh, it's these two, and now they're moving down, and I don't know. Maybe I missed it while I was moving from the living room to the bedroom each week. I don't know.
Did I lose you?
Nope, I'm here.
Okay, my whole screen froze. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, but you're right though. There was Collision and there's Rampage now, and I don't watch those shows. Not gonna lie, Collision I'll see. I don't. I forget every Saturday. I've forgotten about Collision.
You gotta set your DVR.
I don't have a DVR up here, but I do watch Dynamite downstairs. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is I don't want to watch that show because it's not interesting to me. But is that where all the tag team tournaments are? We don't know who's in these tournaments. I don't know.
Yeah,
What's up, Mac?
Yep, sorry, there's someone at the door right now.
No, that's okay. I saw your eyes light up, and I'm like, it's either you're frozen or either something bad's about to happen. And
yeah, no, because this guy keeps coming to my house. This is his 3rd visit to my house now, trying to sell me security cameras, and I wish he would just go away.
You should tell him, hey, I seen you up here 3 times with my security cameras.
Why don't you tell me about Collision real quick, and let me go handle this.
Okay, I'll go talk about Collision.
Yep.
Go handle that. I'm going solo for a couple minutes, guys. He's gonna go tell this telemarketer, get the hell off my lawn. I'm a man, and I don't need your security cameras. I have my own security cameras. Yeah, I just don't watch Collision. Bottom line, like Collision is just a show that is not for me. And it's not a show that I'm interested in. There's no Young Bucks really heavily on that show. It seems like it's a CM Punk oriented show, which is not about CM Punk. It's just the style. I prefer to watch a Kenny Omega and the guys on Dynamite. And to be completely honest with you, like I said, I forget. There's a lot going on. You have kids. Kids want to go out. You don't want to be stuck at home on a Saturday night. They want to do putt-putt golfing. And, it's Florida, sunny Florida in the summer. I can't keep these kids locked up. It's not fair. It's not fair to them. And asking us to watch this show live on a Saturday night is very difficult and very demanding on us. And I know I sound like a lily white, white problems over here, but seriously, who has time to watch wrestling on a Saturday night? Nobody. Virgins, losers.
Listen, it is hard to watch on a Saturday night. However, I will say, I don't know if you noticed, I kind of stuck a little bit of it in there. on our rundown for the week, and I caught a little bit of it Saturday night. I was here by myself this week, but I watched a little bit of it. I have it set to DVR. You know what I did? I got up and I watched it Sunday morning, like when I was still kind of waking up, whatever. Let me say, Josh, I think you might be missing out. Collision might be the best wrestling show on all week, minus its time slot and the fact that it's pre-recorded. But the content itself might be one of the best shows.
So the pre-recorded thing bothers me. Live wrestling is something that you can't, compare to anything else. Tape shows are just not as fun. That's just a fact. You can tell me it's better wrestling. You could probably tell me it's better stories. But the fact that I know it's taped and things can be edited and it's easy to edit things out or whatever the case may be, I'm just not interested in it. I would love this, and I have an idea. When do they tape Collision? No, my bad. My whole thing was Rampage. My bad. But I have a Rampage idea. We'll talk about that later. Not today, but sometime later down the road. I wrote this one down, actually. And I was going to email Tony Khan myself about this idea. It's brilliant. I don't want anyone to steal it. But the thing with Collision is, who's on the show? What's the main story? Who's the champion? What is everyone wrestling for?
So on Collision this past week, on Collision this last week, you had Starks and Hobbs. And I believe they were fighting in the Owen Hart tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But that's a good match.
We've seen that 10,000 times. That's a 2-year-old feud. All right.
And then you had FTR and Bullet Club Gold. That's a good match. They were fighting for, they did one of those, and I know we're not crazy about these matches, but they did one of those contenders matches where you got to beat them once to come back and have an actual title shot. I don't like that premise, but the match itself, it was a pretty long match and it was really good. Like, it's worth watching. It was super good.
Okay.
You had Joe and Punk.
I'm not interested.
Yeah, we're not crazy about Punk, but if you take that part out of it, that we're not too crazy about Punk right now, it was a good match. And then the other one, as just a good mid-card, lower card, whatever you want to call it, that was just a fun match with Scorpio Sky and Action Andretti. So, think about it, though. What do we complain about sometimes on Dynamite? You have one team or person and then someone that, we know is not going to win. What do we open with on Dynamite this week? Do you remember what we opened with last night?
Jericho and Kalisto, Bandito, Commander. I don't fucking know.
We knew how that was going to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're at least here. You're getting some matches that are people that feel like they're on the same level. Remember, we said that was some of our favorite Dynamites when people were on the same level with each other, where matches could go either way. And so I thought a lot of these could go either way, like FTR and Bullet Club. If it was WWE, okay, yeah, Bullet Club's definitely going to win because they're the contenders match and you always got to make your champions look weak. But a lot of times those matches, the champions win those matches and then that's it. But they actually lost this time. So it was good.
You say this stuff. So, okay, here's the way I think. FTR versus Bullet Club Gold. I would think that FTR would win. I would think that, right? They would need to win. So, okay. Hobbs and Starks. Starks goes over easily. Hobbs will never have a chance in my eyes against Starks, especially in the way they put Starks in the main event with CM Punk. Hobbs is on QTV. You tell me who they're pushing, right? Who was the other match you said?
Yeah.
There was Action Andretti and Scorpio Sky. They're pumping Sky up. Sky's getting video packages. He easily won that match, I bet. Not easily, but I would predict he would win that match. In the last match you brought up, who was it? I can't remember.
Joe and Punk.
Top of my head. Punk's going to win. So all those matches besides the FTR match, to me, I'm like, we see who they're pushing and who they're pumping up. Scorpio Sky coming next. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying. It's a little bit less of that. We're right now we're getting you're right. Jericho versus
there's a little bit
Commander.
more balance.
There is balance.
Exactly.
But
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. All I'm saying, don't sleep on Collision just yet.
I'm not gonna. But you know what's funny is we did this with Rampage. We recorded it. We watched it the next day. Hey, Saturday morning, you're gonna watch Rampage. How long did we do that? How long did that go
For
on?
a little while, but I could see where that one had a shelf life because it was only 1 hour, and it's hard to cram a lot into 1 hour. Like 2 hours is the perfect amount of time for a wrestling show. 1 hour is not enough, 3 hours is too much. 2 hours
Do
is where
you
you need to be. That's, I think, part of why Rampage failed because it was matches with no stories, right?
Yeah. Do you think that Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness are growing on you as commentators? Because man, they were putting me off too. Like they were awful the
Oh
first
yeah, that's
round or
that's
two.
still an area that needs to be fixed. I mean, it was not as bad as the opening episode, but they still have a long ways to go.
Do you think we're just conditioned to someone like, for example, the A Team over there on Dynamite? I would consider them the A Team because they're on their flagship show that gets the most viewers. Excalibur, Taz, and Tony Schiavone. Do you think it's just we don't like Kevin Kelly and Nigel because they're new voices and we're hearing them on a totally different new show and we're like, wait, we don't have someone yelling at us telling us coming up next, and he goes on for 5 minutes and stick around, we got Ricky Starks and or it's because Kevin Kelly's more of a calm, chill, just talk. We'll never get used to that.
I'm I'm okay with the difference in style that they bring. I think the big problem was just how cringy it was that they kept getting names wrong or moves wrong. Like they were just getting everything wrong. It seemed like these were people that didn't know anything about wrestling asked to come in and talk about wrestling.
Yeah,
You
which
know, that's
ironically,
where for me that it was, I couldn't do it.
yeah, I totally understand that. But Collision wasn't even on our rundown tonight. We just wanted to. I just wanted to vent about it real quick because I hear it's good. You're not the only person telling me it's good. But whenever I it's Sunday afternoon, I'm like, oh shit, Collision was last night. It's just something that I'm never going to get used to. That's just the bottom line. That's just period. Bottom line. Let's go on to actually Dynamite last night, a show we both watched, a show we both enjoyed. We just talked about. Let's go from the top. The biggest thing that happened on the show, there was the reveals, of the last men, the fifth men on each team. We know Coda was going to be the fifth. That was kind of given. That was kind of written in stone. We were unsure. Could it be Evil Uno over on the BCC? Could it be Chris Jericho? I didn't think that was going to happen. We got Pac. We got Pac. So before I tell you what I think, what are your initial thoughts on Pac? Pac. Pac.
Pack.
Pac.
Um,
I don't know.
I
Pac.
mean, from a story point, I don't know. I guess he's got a little bit of history there, so I guess there's a little bit of story there. But I mean, obviously they were not building for this; they weren't planning for it. It just kind of happened with Brian Danielson's injury. Um, but given the situation and the fact that we haven't seen Pac in a while, like I'm good with this. I think it'll be entertaining to have him in the match for sure. I think he'll definitely make it work. So I think we'll excuse the lack of a story build with him due to the injury, and I think it'll be fun to watch him in that match. I'm looking forward to it next week.
So when he first came out, the first thought in my mind was, this is perfect. This is the ideal because you didn't hype anyone up, no big returns. Only Kenny was doing that. So I didn't have high expect. I knew it was someone that we've seen multiple times. I didn't think it was going to be anyone like a return or someone from a different company. Didn't cross my mind. I was surprised by Pac. I loved it. He fits in. I just don't understand. Of course, he has history with Kenny Omega, but wasn't their feud just coming off this trios 7 match series with the Bucks? Like, to me, why didn't you ride the coattails of that? Like, you're still pissed about that. You were causing divide between me and Ray Phoenix, my Death Triangle. All that could have been, instead of he went right to Kenny Omega, which I get, he's the main star of the Elite. But like, oh, you broke my face 4 years ago. I've been waiting. It's like, bro, why didn't you bring this up in the trios series at all? You didn't bring it up once. But you understand what I'm trying to say here? It doesn't make sense, but it seems like you're right. They didn't have a lot of time. They had like 3 weeks to get this together. Love the pick. He's aggressive. He
Yeah.
fits the mold of a BCC teammate. Doesn't mean he's there, but he fits the mold. And I can see him possibly leaving the Death Triangle, having them in a tag team because I think we need more tag teams in this locker room. And maybe he doesn't join the BCC. He's doing this for Don Callis, and he joins the Don Callis family. That's what I see possibly happening. That'd be cool.
So who do you think all is going to join Don Callis then? So you think he's going to have like a new little stable going on?
Yeah, he does. No, yeah, he's not part of the BCC. He's just helping him out because of his hate for Kenny Omega. He's starting the
Yeah.
Don Cal. He's starting his own faction, and he's gathering these people. I don't think Takeshka's staying over in the BCC either. I think he's coming with Don Callis, and I believe he's going to make his own little stable, his own like the Bobby Heenan family, the same situation over here, the Don Callis family. He's going to have his guys,
Okay.
whether it be Chris Jericho, a Pac, whoever, and he's just going to have his little stable. This isn't him and the
Yeah.
BCC aren't together. At least not
Okay. So
my
that's
my
that's
eyes.
just that's just temporary for this feud. So you're thinking a Takeshita, a Pac, a Jericho, and maybe one or two other guys.
Yeah. And by the way, can I mention? So there was a award for like worst theme song of all time, wrestling theme song. No one will win this award ever again until Don Callis changes his music. It's the worst fucking music I've ever heard in my life. It's not even music. It's not
Yeah.
music. Don Callis comes out and it's just it gives me a fucking headache. Are they trying to recreate booze? Are they trying to piss us off? It's awful. I'd rather them come out to nothing at all. Zero. Am I the only one annoyed? I don't hear anyone else talking about it. It's the worst. No?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Listen, the only one that would be worse than that would be Right to Censor. That's the only one that
Yes.
you can say is worse than that.
That was
one would
awful,
drive me
too.
nuts. But it was designed to do
I'm not
that,
a big
though.
fan of Cesaro or Claudio's music here, and I'm AEW. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. Like, it doesn't fit his character at all. It's awful. So, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. It is what it is. But I'm excited for Blood and Guts. I'm excited for Coda. I'm kind of upset he wasn't there. Just a video. But I was pretty hyped about it. I marked out. True story. After the Bruce Wayne match, I decided I'm like, I'm not watching this crap anymore. I had enough of this Bruce Wayne. Spoiler: when we get to Bruce Wayne, we'll talk about that. I was so annoyed by Bruce Wayne. I wanted to turn my television off and just go to bed. But I'm like, wait, fuck! I don't know who the fifth members are, and I'm pretty happy I stayed awake for that. Besides Kenny's terrible acting, terrible. Like, I understand I'm supposed to, think it's wrestling terms. Like, they just put boots to him. Kenny can't move. But he was in the ring with Will Ospreay getting dropped on his head, but he's up doing all this stuff, kicks out of a one-wing angel and whatever. But Kenny's just crawling slowly after getting kicked 2 times. Oh, so bad.
I tell you though, that's the law of wrestling.
But that's the logic.
In a match. Yeah, you can take a lot of damage in a match and be fine. But before or after the bell, they're all very brittle.
It's so funny. Like,
they're knocked out.
Kenny gets one hit, couple boots, and he's like crawling, like, save me. Like, the fuck, bro? You literally got dropped on your head like 3 weeks ago, and you're totally fine.
And you were fine.
Oh man. But I did like the reveal when he had the, in the neck. But like, why did the heel stop? Hey, guess what? You play a video and tell me your 5th member's coming? Cool. I'm gonna take you out of the match, so you only have 4 again. Sucks to be you. Instead, they all stop. Huh? So, yeah. That's the first thing I would do. Oh, you do have a 5th member? Oh, it's Coda? Oh, we're fucked. Then I would stomp on his neck and go, well, you're back to 4, buddy.
Yep.
Go find someone else.
Keep trying. We're gonna just keep clearing out the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, but it was super cool. I was super happy with it. I've been talking about this moment for how long on this show? For how long, Chris, have I talked about Coda on this show? I've wanted this for ever.
Yeah.
And we finally get it. And I'm happy it's next week. So we had a debut. He kind of main evented, but didn't main event. Nick Wayne debuted against Swerve. And I'm thinking, man, this is kind of weird, but I'm into it. I gave the kid a chance, and I think he's going to be good. It's just his rookie match. I totally get why you can tell he was nervous every time he did a big move. Look at me, I'm a baby face, and I'm showing off like I'm fucking a heel. Like, he didn't really understand it, but he's used to working in smaller events where every time he does something, people pop, and he's like, yeah, woo, I'm awesome.
Yeah.
What'd you think about his debut? For real.
I thought it was good. I mean, all things considered, like you said, you could see the nerves there a little bit. I thought the video package, the way they approached that was really good, made him very
Mhm.
sympathetic baby face coming right out. So for people that didn't know a whole lot about him, like myself, you can feel already like a connection to his character there. And then, I mean, he looked pretty good in the ring considering that that's his first big match in front of a crowd. I mean, that's a big deal right there on AEW's flagship show for your very first match, your very first, big televised match, other than the little indies where you got 100 or 200, whatever they have, people out there. So he looked pretty good. He looks like he fits the mold for AEW. So do you think, are we still going to be talking about him in 3 months?
That was my next point. Is he the next Action Andretti? Is he going to be the next Commander, or people that just show up, you have a great match or a match that's entertaining, and then you're gone, and then you come back? There's going to be no story with this kid, unfortunately. I mean, there shouldn't be really. He should be learning. He should be more on. I guess I don't have Dark anymore, but he should be more on Rampage, getting the reps in, getting the work in. I don't really think they need to shoehorn him into a story. It kind of doesn't make sense right now. Where would he go with Darby? I
Yeah.
mean, why? I mean, I guess that
Yeah,
works,
in the
but again,
trios.
but look at this. You look at Hook, right? Hook has not done anything, and he's been signed forever, and he has not done. Now he's just now doing stuff, right? He's got this story. This is his first major program with Jack Perry. This is his first. Yes, he's had programs with other Danhausen, but those were all comedy acts or very small. This is a more high stream, a main eventer, someone who just challenged for the AEW World Championship and the New Japan World Championship. Someone like Nick Wayne comes in at 18 years old. There's not like it took that long to develop Hook to finally get him on TV. I don't expect this kid to come in right away and just be a star or be someone that's relevant. But I do like the story, and I do like to see an 18-year-old actually going out there and showing he could work.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it'll be good, but I don't know. I'm kind of thinking the same thing, that we don't hear much from him soon.
dude, I don't know what to say about this kid, other than he's kind of like the same as everyone else. Flips, does high spots. That power bomb he took from Swerve, I think he was hurt for real. Did you see what happened? You didn't see what happened. You know why? Because they cut away real quick. Darby Allin was
No, I
literally in
missed
the ring.
that part.
Darby Allin was like, get the fucking, someone get the fuck in here. Like, take care of this kid. Because he was legit, dude, that power bomb crunched him up. And I'm like, dude, Swerve's going to kill this kid. And I didn't even text you that. I'm like, dude, Swerve will kill this kid. Swerve will murder this kid. Loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Big Chill in the chat
Yep.
says he likes Nick Wayne, able to debut, but needs some polishing. Yes. I was going to ask you about the placement on the card. You put this right before your biggest angle, going into Blood and Guts. A lot of casual people that maybe just tune in. You see this skinny 18-year-old kid against Swerve. You never really heard of this kid. It's his debut. I'm sure, I don't know, the ratings aren't out yet. I know Jim Cornette always puts out the quarterly ratings. Why would you damage your main event, your Kenny Omega spot, by putting this right before it? It's not a cooldown spot. It's a channel changing spot for people that aren't super into it. That to me was a kind of a bad move. I mean, but
where
we
would
don't
you
see
have
it
put
that
it
way.
on the card? Are you going to put it in the beginning? Because they were hyping it up, so you can't just stick it in the middle of the card.
But he's a rookie. It's not like he's some main event. It's not like he's some prodigy. He's just a rookie kid getting his feet wet. Like you could have put him right there, right before the 9 o'clock hour. They like to put good matches right before the 9 o'clock hour. Right before the 9 o'clock hour, put it in there. Then you have your Adam Cole segment. I mean, in MJF segment. That's where I would have put it, because you're putting it at the end of the show where you want to get the most viewers, obviously, for the biggest angle in your company besides MJF and Cole, and you just turned thousands of people away. I will guarantee they lost a lot of people in that segment. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Promise.
Okay.
They do it all. They do it all the time. Tony Khan, dude, every single time they start out with 900,000, and I love Dynamite, but if you watch and you see the numbers, they start high, and by the main event, they're at like 500,000 people every single time because of the way they put that women's match there to kill the momentum. I don't want them to do that again with Nick Wayne, or how they did that. That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
They just need to get better
fair
place in
enough.
card. Fair enough. What else we got on the show? What else? Oh, MJF and Cole. Duh. the fucking greatest part of the show, the best part of the
Yep,
show.
part 2.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. I can relate to Adam Cole. I don't like going out to bars. I don't like going out, right? Spending all my money drinking beer. I would love to sit at home on a Saturday night or Sunday night or Friday night and play some video games with my buddies. That's what I do. Me and Adam Cole, we vibe. And I loved everything about that segment, everything about that part. The little subtle, like him walking back up to Adam Cole at the bar, zipping up his pants. Like that little movement that probably a lot of people didn't notice was fucking genius. I just love the skit. Love it. Like, I don't know what to say. The shirt was awesome. Like, I don't know, man. I lost it. Oh, I promise you. It reminds me of an old BTE skit where Nick Jackson made a Young Bucks shirt. It was horrible. And every time he'd see Matt, why aren't you wearing the shirt? Matt's like, oh, I lost it. Nick's like, don't worry, bro. Opens up his duffel bag. I got all the sizes. What size do you need? Like, this went on for weeks. He's running to Matt, like in the shower. Matt, where's your shirt? I don't see it hanging up here. Don't worry, buddy. I'll replace it for you. Like, that was a big angle on BTE being the elite, was we made a shirt. Where's your shirt? And I think that this is funny. I don't know. I think it was a little callback to that skit. But anyways, it was awesome. I'm buying that shirt. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks? I'm buying that shirt. Big Chill, I'm buying that shirt. Are you coming?
It's about 3 weeks away. Yeah, he'll be there. I got
Nice.
I got both y'all's tickets. Yeah, he'll be there. I like this skit. I didn't love this one like I loved the first one though, only because I thought the video game stuff was a little bit forced into this one. The first one felt a little more natural. This one felt a little bit more forced. Like the whole basis of the skit was to plug the game. You know?
I don't think so. I don't think it was to plug the game, but it didn't hurt. Adam Cole is known for being a streamer and playing video games. The whole wrestling locker room, Undertaker said it on Joe Rogan. Like, nobody goes out and drinks anymore. Everyone stays at home and plays video games. You know, like that's the old school mentality. We got to go out and drink and party and do cocaine. Whereas the new generation, Xavier Woods, all Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, they're all playing video games because they're all a different era of people, right? Like, my son's not going to do the things we did. He's going to play video games and party, chat with all of his buddies. Whereas we actually had to go out. We had to go find someone who had GoldenEye and 4 controllers to game together. But you're right. It was a little add to it. But I did like the fact that last week we saw MJF in his element, working out, getting shredded, right? Doing everything that MJF wants to do. In this one, we say, hey, we get in Adam Cole's world. And MJF connected and vibe with him. And he gave that, like, oh, man, multiplayer games are so much fun when you have friends. And Adam Cole, you never had a friend? Like, yeah. You have to have friends to play multiplayer game. That really brought that connection. And I want Adam Cole to turn heel so bad. I am so sick of this babyface bullshit. And this is the Adam Cole I love. How do we get there? That's all I'm asking you, Chris. How do we get there? You don't know. He's frozen. I'll tell you how we get there. Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong has to be the catalyst
I think with MJF, he's slowly gaining that trust. Yeah, so he is slowly gaining the trust of Adam Cole, and it's going to take a little while. And maybe that's what it's going to be, is Roderick Strong is the one that's getting jealous of everything, and maybe MJF convinces him to turn against his buddy there, and there's your heel turn. I definitely could see Roderick Strong being a piece of the turn.
Roderick Strong will be a piece of the turn. Now, let me ask you this. When does it happen? Because I don't see them losing in the tag team finals against, I don't even know the bum team they're going against. Couldn't tell you. I know it's not the team that
it's Sammy and Daniel Garcia.
It is? Okay. What the fuck happened with Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy? What happened with Matt Hardy and Jeff Jarrett? I have to know. They were teamed up together and we never win. Where?
0-1.
Where? 0-1. What channel? What show?
I don't know. Maybe it was on. Were they on Collision? I think they were on Collision. See, you got to watch Collision. There's stories there.
Yeah, sure. Stories there. So MJF and Adam Cole will win this, and they will face FTR. That's where Roderick Strong makes the turn, or not turn, But do you think he knocks out Cole? And just boom, he's the heel and he teams up with MJF, and I don't like that situation. I hate that actually. I think it's terrible. I would like to see Roderick Strong come in there, get so jealous, and instead of beating the shit out of Cole, beat the shit out of MJF, and Cole stops him. And Roderick Strong's, what the fuck, man? And then we see a heel turn, and I want to see Adam Cole turn heel. I'm so sick of the babyface Cole. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're frozen or not.
I'm right there with you.
And I don't understand wrestling logic. These guys are storytellers. Big Chill knows this. They're storytellers. In NXT, the majority of their run, they were heels. And they're really good at bringing stories from other universes and bringing them in. Why has nobody brought that up in any side? Cole's never been like, well, I was a dirtbag over there, and so were you, Roddy. You know? But no, they don't ever bring that up. Matter of fact, before he was hurt, he was a dirtbag and turned on the Bucks. No reason why he came back as a babyface. There's no reason for it. That was one of the things they dropped the ball on. Are you still frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I can still hear
No?
you just fine.
Okay, perfect. I can hear you fine too, but your screen's frozen. That's all. Big Chill, is he frozen? Is he frozen in the chat? Let me know. I would like to know. Seriously, I would like to know if everyone thinks he's frozen, or sees he's frozen.
It's
Did you
probably
see
my
the
terrible
band?
computer, because you've been frozen a couple times too. Like the audio is fine, but
Your audio's not fine. You made a statement and we only heard half of it, which is okay. They came here for the heel right here. I'm just kidding. They come here for you, Chris. I don't know if, they love you. I wish they loved me. Did you hear the band words or band moves or actions in AEW? Did you hear about this?
I did not hear about this until I saw it on our rundown. And then I jumped onto Twitter and I started seeing bits and pieces of it. But this was the biggest list I've seen is on our rundown here. I didn't realize they were doing this now. Why? Did they say why they're doing this?
Well, I will let you know as I go down the list, and I'll tell you why. It's common sense. Unprotected chair shots to the head. There will be no longer any unprotected Mick Foley-like chair shots to the head. Unprotected, which is common sense, right? That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with these, but I just don't know where it's coming from all of a sudden, I think.
Let me ask you something, Chris. When you're at work,
is it like,
today,
is it a recent thing of injuries? Is it a network thing? Like, who came up with this all of a sudden?
We don't know yet. More to come out, but I'll tell you these are the ones banned for now. It could be a network thing. It could be look, what I'm saying is if I'm at work and I'm like, yo, stop fucking hit me in the head with these chair shots, eventually enough Tony's gonna be like, all right, guys, we got to stop doing this. Shots to the back of the head, like buckle bombs. So anything to the back of the head. So a chair shot to the back of the head, any kind of buckle bomb, like what Seth Rollins did to Sting and almost killed him, stuff like that, which is good. Kenny Omega getting dropped in the head. Maybe this is what sparked it. Kenny Omega almost dying in real life in front of everyone. Blind moves that are backwards into the turnbuckle. Fencing responses. I don't know what that means. I don't know what fencing means. Fencing responses. I don't know what that means. I copied and pasted this straight from Twitter, straight from the post. So I'm assuming Darby Allin can't do the coffin drop. The worst finish in all of wrestling, the coffin drop. It's backwards. He can't see. Is he allowed to do that still? I'm not sure. It is a blind move that are backwards. So does Darby Allin go back to his roll-up pin, the Last Supper?
But it says into the turnbuckle. He's not going into the turnbuckle.
That's what I'm asking. I don't know. Sometimes he goes into tables. What's the difference? Sometimes he does it from outside into a damn coffin. That's even more dangerous. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, I don't understand the rules.
Yeah, I don't know yet either.
Seizure cells. I've never seen a seizure sold on TV.
Yeah, I was confused by that one on the list. I don't think I've ever noticed that. Unless they're talking about like when they're flailing around whenever they get hit or something and they're counting that as a seizure cell, maybe.
Spitting. That's self-explanatory. Now, is it spitting the gum? Because Penta is fucking awesome at getting kicked and spitting gum up in the air. Penta does it better than anyone else in the whole world.
I think it's spitting on each other.
All right. So
I
do
think
I,
that's
but,
what it
but
is.
you're spitting something. You're spitting gum out when you're doing that. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. Technically, bleeding in the crowd seems self-explanatory. John Moxley.
So the guy that loves going in the crowd the most and loves bleeding the most, which one will he do? It's like that meme whenever it's got like they're picking between the two buttons. Do I go through the crowd or do I blade and bleed? Which one should I do? Who knows?
Weapons or projectiles in the weapons or projectiles in the crowd. What it says. That's exactly what it says. So
Yeah. So
that's
like
okay.
if Cody were to come back, he can't throw his belt back into the crowd.
Cody can't throw his belt into the crowd. Smart. That's genius. Taking drinks or food from guests in the crowd, so Hangman can no longer drink beer from people. He doesn't have done that in a while, but he can't.
I think he's done it once in a
MJF
while.
cannot do what he did to that young child.
Yeah,
MJF
that's
cannot
probably
take
a good.
a drink and throw it on someone. So
Yeah.
no longer. Physical contact with the crowd, another MJF rule. You cannot. He's done it twice.
Yeah. Like now, does that mean like anything like they can't I guess they probably can't jump into the crowd anymore, like what Punk did, or I guess when they say physical contact, like where do they draw the line there again?
Like so, if you go over there and you,
Because what is it like the Acclaim? They lean into the crowd when they do their entrance. Do they just want them to
he
all
can't.
completely stay away, or is it just
He
like the
can't.
rough physical stuff?
He can't scissor the guys anymore. Owens can't do it. So that's literally physical contact.
Yeah, that's what I'm
We
saying.
don't know.
Is it like rough physical contact? I mean, we'll have to watch for that.
And this is my favorite one. Don't throw objects with blood into the crowd. Who has done
anyone
that?
done that yet?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
That's
It's
the other one.
on
I'm
the
like, has
list.
anyone, unless there was something that someone got hit with and it got blood on it and it somehow got thrown out. But I don't think someone like got blood and is like, oh, here we go, let's toss it out. Like maybe through the progression of the match, it made its way into the crowd and it was like subtle and someone complained. I don't know. That was a weird one too, though.
You see, everyone, trust me, when we go, you'll see signs get taken away. Signs do get taken away at AEW events. It happens.
Yeah, it did on the one we went to in Orlando.
Right. So people want to say,
knew the guy that had his sign taken away in Orlando.
There you go.
Too.
People say WWE does this, does that, does that. AEW does the same. Look, they're all businesses in the end. They got to protect their assets. You can't just go in there with a "fuck you, Phil" sign like what I want to bring. You can't just go in there and the wrestlers can't do all the shit they've been doing. That's got to stop. That's self-protection. I'm all for this. I think there should be more rules. I think that they should have less freedom in matches because of the whole Kenny. Just think about this. Kenny Omega breaks his neck on that spot. What are we talking about now? What are we talking about? We just got to protect these guys and no more of this bullshit of unprotected headshots. That's not called. That's unneeded. That's not needed at all in this, but
yeah,
it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm excited for
maybe they're growing
great,
as a company.
I guess they're growing. Yeah, they are growing. But Chris, we're gonna wrap it up right there. I'm excited for this week of wrestling. I might watch Collision if someone
It's
out there
live.
on Twitter text me or wait, Saturday. Well, I think I'm doing something Saturday. Damn it. Anyway, someone text me or someone DM me or at me. Go, hey, are you watching Collision? And I'll watch Collision because I'll forget. Chris, that's on you, man.
It is live this week. It's live and it's 3 hours.
We just said 3 hours is a terrible time.
Yeah, well,
for wrestling.
It's Collision and Battle of the Belts afterwards.
I am not watching Battle of the Belts.
No, so at least watch Collision. Watch it from 8 to 10, and then don't worry about the rest.
Oh, I like that one. Buck you, Phil. Okay. All right. Let's put that up here so everyone can see. Let's see if we can get away with a Buck you, Phil sign. I am all right. Yeah, we got that one. We'll make that one up. Me and Finley, my son over here, we'll do some fan art. I like it. I like it. But let's get out of here, Chris. Follow us on Twitter. Don't forget that. Josh Kimmel OUS. Fantasy football season's coming up. Check me out Wednesday nights here on YouTube as well. Finstock Sports Network. You can check Chris out at RTW Chris, and I believe he has some projects coming up with his brother, which I can't wait for. Your brother followed me on Instagram yesterday.
Yeah,
me and your brother never had a relationship. It was kind of weird, but I am into it because I like him. He's cool people's. At least the small, everything I've done before, and we did a Pokemon run once, right? In Ybor.
Probably.
Did we not do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
it was
yeah.
fun times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome times. But anyway, we're getting out of here. Next week, we're going to talk blood and guts. We are going to
Yep.
have a huge blood and guts match. Predictions before we go. Who's winning the match?
Kenny Omega's side.
Kenny Omega side has to win this match. This feud has to end. This is the end of the feud. I think Kenny Omega hits the One Wing Angel on. Fuck, it's so hard to decide. On Pac. Pac takes the pin.
Wow.
Yeah. Pac takes the pin. Kenny Omega. Book it. Next feud is going to be Kenny Omega because he's still going to go against the family, and I think Pac joins the family.
Okay.
All right, cool. You heard it here first, guys. That is not a prediction. That is a spoiler. We'll catch you next week. Until then, Chris, you got anything else for us?